Hi everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today, friends, I'm going to be sharing with you a very fun video all about my traveling journal and all of the new pages that I created to go into it. So I will tell you more about the concept of a traveling journal as we go about this video. First, I just want to explain this page here so that you can kind of know what I'm doing as I'm putting it together. So first of all, I wanted to do a page titled Me Core, which I found online. I found a inspiration page. It was a lot different than this one, but it gave me the idea to do some sort of spread in my journal that had little pictures, all kinds of things that I thought represented me. And then on the following page here right beside it, to create the double page spread, I'm going to add a photo of myself with some general info and some of my favorite things like that. So you're going to see me put this down. So this spread, I found this really cute paper that I was very excited to use. I love the colors, the orange, the pinks, the yellow, little checkerboard plaid looking paper. I really love that. I printed off a few pictures that I either had that were my personal photos, like of my doggies, or pictures that I got just off of Googling. That is Bridget Marcourt at the top. If you recognize her, she's from The Girls Next Door, and I absolutely love her, so I added her on. Also added a picture of Buffy on here, one of my drinks from Starbucks. Then I also looked through some of these older Washi sticker books that I have that you may remember that I used in my Hobonichi quite a bit, and I just found some of the little cutesy items that kind of reminded me of things that I love, so I cut those out. I did add them onto white paper, and then I fussy cut each one of those out again because they were washi stickers. So they were a little see-through. I also printed off pictures of pumpkins. Those are my personal pumpkins that me and my mom have carved. And so you can see I have like a mix and match of all kinds of little things. And I'm going to fill in a lot of the extra space with stickers and things like that as well. But these are just like little tidbits about me. So now I'm pulling out my sticker book and we're going to fill the rest of the page in. And then, like I said, we will do the opposite spread that will have additional information about me that I typed out. So I wanted to have basically one of the first spreads that I wanted to have in my traveling journal. I wanted it to just have info about whose journal this is, and it's mine, so it's all about me. So if you don't follow along with my Instagram, you may want to follow me, Leilani_scraps, over there if you're interested in learning more about this or seeing more content from me. I say that because I did do a reel the other day working on the very first cover page, which you may have seen right when the video started. It's like just a photo of me with like "This book belongs to" and some stickers and whatnot, but I did create a little reel talking all about the traveling journal and the concept of it and all of that. Now, in that video, I was calling it a traveling notebook, and now I see that it's really kind of called a traveling journal. So we're going to kind of switch over and start calling it that. So if you're wondering what the heck is a traveling journal, well, I'm glad that you asked. So this is a really fun concept I've been seeing go all over the internet. It may just be my algorithm, I'm unsure, but I follow a lot of junk journaling accounts in general. A lot of my friends have sent me different spreads that have inspired them from Instagram and from TikTok. And a few of us decided to try to create these and share them with each other. So the main concept of the traveling journal is that you get a group of friends that perhaps live all over the country. So in this case, there are 6 of us that are going to be doing this together, and each one of us create our own journal. So you can choose any journal that you want, a spiral bound, a traveler's notebook size like I'm using, a Hobonichi, an Archer and Olive. Literally the possibilities are endless. Whatever journal is inspiring to you, whichever journal you like to work in, use that. For me, I have this particular spiral bound traveler's notebook that I bought from the Traveler's Company maybe a year ago or more, and I didn't really know what I was going to do with it. I think maybe I had like an idea for a couple of them, but I had probably 3 that I've never used before. So I was really excited that I already had something at home that I was able to use. So now I am just simply adding all kinds of fun, inspiring pages inside of my personal journal. Some of them are like this one that is just for fun. It just kind of has different info about me, like I said before, and it's just kind of like a spread for everyone to look at as they open it up with like info on it. But there will also be, you'll see as we continue, a lot of interactive spreads that I'm creating where I'm starting the spread But then as this notebook travels from one friend to the other friend, they can add their own info into that particular spread until it is full, and then everyone will have added on to it. You'll see what I'm talking about as we go. So as I'm working on mine, all of my other 5 friends are working on theirs, and then we will be switching off and mailing these notebooks around the country and working inside of each other's journals. So I hope that that makes sense. I feel like the concept will start to come together as you are watching the process here. And I will definitely be sharing more reels and more information over on Instagram as well. So this is kind of the long form version where I just wanted to include a process video in case anyone else was interested in doing this with some of your own friends, or if you were curious about what a traveling journal is, or just want to see some fun journal spreads. But I will also be doing short form content over on Instagram as well. So as you can see for this page, what my idea was here was to do a more like a very like busy page on the left with all of the stuff just like everywhere and the pattern paper. And then on the right side, I wanted you to have a place for your eye to rest. So I decided to just use the white background paper as my base. I added on some washi. You're going to see these same 3 washis throughout like most of the spreads that I do. I just thought it was kind of nice to keep that continuity here. And then I found a picture of myself that I liked. I printed it off on sticker paper. And then I'm using a lot of the same products that you have probably seen before within my Hobonichi and things like that. So I'm adding on some different stickers and whatnot. I did type up. I just typed a lot of my things just to keep it looking streamlined and nice and neat. And that's just a style that I like. But of course, as my friends add things into this book, you never know what's going to be added in. And that's what the beauty of it is that you're going to have everyone's creative concepts and ideas and vibes put in here, which is kind of a neat thing. So for this, I did some general info up at the top where I added on that freehand heart. And that heart is in, of course, the same pattern paper as the left side, just to kind of bring it together. And then it has like my name, age, my birthday, my location, stuff like that. And then underneath it with all the big journaling there, I added on some favorites. So I thought that that might be inspiring for people to read about me, since this is my journal, if they wanted to add any spreads that go along with any of the things that I talked about. Of course, they don't have to, but it is something that you may want to do. If you know that your friend loves the beach, maybe you make a beach spread, or you make some sort of thing about that, or they love Disney, maybe you do that. So I just included my favorite color, some of my favorite TV shows and movies, and my coffee order from Starbucks, and just all kinds of things like that, in case anyone wanted to know a little bit more about me, to just add things into my book. So here, I know it is hard to tell in this spread, but in real life, it is it does blend in a little bit, but I like it. I used my Dymo label maker on both this front page and on the next page, but it's clear. So this actually says me core, and so it's like all the things about me over there, but it's clear Dymo label tape, so it just has the indentation of the letters in white, and I just thought that that was really cool and different. So that first double page spread is now completed, and we are going to be moving on to the next spreads, and all of these next ones are way more interactive. So that one again is just kind of to look at, and all of these, my friends that will be receiving my notebook will be adding on to these spreads until they are complete. So for these two, I had seen these a lot, so basically, the majority of these I got some sort of inspiration from, or at least most of them, from other layouts and things. I totally did my own spin on them, but like the concepts, a lot of these I got from other spreads. So like this one here, where I'm adding on the washi, I'm going to use my stamps here to stamp out 1 through 6 for each of the girls. And then it is basically a washi dump. So everyone can add a piece or two of washi onto the number that represents you. So I'm number 1 because this is my book. Number 2 will be the person that is the second location that this journal is going to end up. And then number 3, they'll add their washi. Number 4 will add theirs. And then by the end, there will be a full page of washi here. So you'll get the idea as I go. But I did see washi dump spreads quite a bit in the traveling journal community. So this was the the actual spread design is my own, but the concept is one that I saw, and I thought that it was kind of cool. And definitely, if you're into probably traveling journals, traveling notebooks, scrapbooking, things like that, you're probably a washi lover. So I think we have a lot of washi hanging around. So I can definitely see this being a spread that after this one's filled up, I might continue and do another one later in the book, because I love seeing different washis, and I love people like choosing their favorite washis and stuff. I think that that's really fun. I picked this one that I got at Gift Horse Nashville a couple years ago, and it has these little worms, and each worm has a cute little expression and a different hat on, and I just thought that that was really cute. Of course, throughout a lot of this, I'm going to be adding on stickers. So I have these big gold star stickers that I got from Amazon, and I just looked up gold star stickers or glittery gold star stickers, and then also some other smaller stars and little sprinkly stickers here and there that I'm going to be adding on. Now, over here to the right side, I also saw this as a concept in someone else's journal. Now, originally I thought maybe I would start a sticker bomb over here and then everyone could complete the sticker bomb. But then I saw somewhere that someone attached a piece of release paper, like the paper, is that what it's called? That sounds wrong right now, but whatever. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, I'm having a brain fart. But this is the type of paper that you can buy where you can stick a sticker down and then you can pull it back up. So it is the same paper that's in the sticker books that you use just to house all of your stickers before you put them in their final destination. So that's what that is. So I just added a few stickers. You'll see me add a little bit more here and there. And then my friends, as they get the book, they can take one up if they want to, put that sticker into their collection, and then they can add a couple down for the next person to look at as this journal goes on its journey. So those aren't totally complete. I have to put a few little typed words on those spreads. So you're going to see as I'm working on this, I kind of flip back and forth and back and forth. So just bear with me as we work through it. Now, for this, I saw this concept that was sort of like a little package, and someone had created this little package, sort of like it was going viral there for a while online, and I actually made a doodle of one of them. It's been months probably on Instagram, but it was like make your own starter kit, and you could say whatever your little action figure would have with it. So the concept for the spread that I saw, someone had created their own starter kit, but it got me thinking about what if I created a little jar, because I've seen these kind of things on Instagram before. What if I created a little jar and I had enough jars for everyone in my, my little group, 6 of them, and then everyone decorates that jar to represent themselves. You're going to see what I'm talking about. I know a lot of this, it may be confusing, but I swear I'm not trying to be confusing. But yeah, so we'll go back over there. But what I did was I'm just adding a couple more stickers here. There was one that didn't have a lot of stick on it, so I ended up changing that around, and then I'm just adding on a few other stickers so you can see the concept of this page. Also, I printed off my instructions, I guess. So on the sticker page, it says leave a sticker, take a sticker. Then on this page, it was going to say something about a washi dump, but I didn't end up liking that one. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to reprint that. Again, we'll be moving back and forth throughout. So also on all of these jar pages, I add the instructions at the bottom. So it says something like pick a jar and fill it with anything that represents you or something like that. So I am going to add that instruction piece onto the back of or onto the page for all of these jars, but I don't think that you will see that actually in the process video. So anyways, back to the concept. So I went to my Procreate on my iPad, which is how I create all of my little stickers and whatnot. And I just simply traced a jar, and then I printed it out 6 times on just regular computer paper, like thin computer paper. I popped it in with just a tiny, tiny bit of repositionable adhesive so that anyone that's coming on here to mess with their own jar, they can take it up, they can add background paper, they can do whatever they like for this page. And basically they are going to be filling this jar up to represent them. So you're going to see here, I wanted to keep my page white and easy, but I did pick the jar up and I added a little border of like pink paper around the jar. And then I just used some random, I think they're LA Studio, older like scrapbooking alphas, of course. And then I added on a jar of Lay, so a jar of me, adding on some of that same washi. And then I did have two other pictures there, one of the little Halloween pinup girl and one of Penny, one of my favorite pictures of Penny in her ghost costume from a couple years ago. So those I also just printed off on sticker paper, just like I would for my Hobonichi or whatever. So I added those two in, and then I'm just looking through my sticker book, finding stickers that represent me, and I'm popping them in place. And so this will be eventually a jar all about me. So you have the blonde girl, we have a Libra sign, we have the girl that loves stickers, we have another wiener dog at the bottom, some random like loose stickers. And then also I think I added ghost on here and just some little filler pieces. And I absolutely love the way that this looks. I'm going to add a little bit more washi just for some decorative bits along the bottom. We've added on some coffees. I just really love the way that this looks. And I've done this before in an Instagram story. Sometimes like I've seen these that have not gone viral necessarily, but they've been kind of passed around where you can add your own, and it will look just like this. It will be a jar, and then it will say, fill this jar up with gifts and emojis and whatever that represent you. And so I just did like a real version of that for my journal. Absolutely love the way this looks, and I'm really excited to see how everyone fills up their jars. So then eventually, as this moves on, I will get to see 5 more from all of my friends, and I'm super looking forward to that. So I just really love this concept, and it's one that I'm the most excited about. So I think that it is super fun. So I found these little very, very light hearts, and I thought that they just went with that same light pink color. So I add the majority of those on as like little background pieces until we kind of finish this up. And then we'll see where we move about this journal and what we add on next. So this has just been so fun. It's been super fun and super inspiring to look at other junk journals, and it's just gotten me really pumped up to do different junk journals in the future. I'm excited to let this one go to other people and to get creative inspiration from my friends, and it's just such a neat concept. I think right now, that's what I was saying earlier, I think this is just something that is really it's having like a big surge of excitement in the junk journaling community, at least under the stuff that I've been looking at. And I don't know if some of it has to do with Martina Calvi, but as y'all know, I love her books, and she does all of these really cute junk journaling inspirational videos and photos, and you see all of her stuff on Instagram all the time. And her and a few of the girls in that community had started this thing called the Sisterhood of the Traveling Journal, or I think that's where that started. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where I saw it started anyways. And just like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, if you know that movie. And so it's just a really cute and cool concept that I'm excited to be able to partake in. So here for the front cover, I decided to just leave it craft. I just kind of like the way that that looks, but I wanted to add a little pocket where I could put in a few of my homemade stickers that I created for everyone to take. So I wanted to add this pocket into the front. And then right now, me and my 5 friends, we are going to be obviously sending our journals around until all 5 get to add things into the journal, and then it will be sent back to the original owner. So then I'll get my journal back. At that point, I'm unsure, but I'm hopeful that we would want to do another round. If our journals still have pages in them and all that kind of stuff, we could do a second round where we could then add more concept pages and then send it around for a go again. If we do that again, I think I will create another sticker at that point and just add different stickers into this pocket. So I think that that would be a cute little like free gift, if you will, that everyone would get for doing my journal. So here I just created a simple pocket, and then I added on like handmade stickers by Lay. Take one to add to your journal. I'm going to add, of course, a couple little stickers, and then you will see those stickers here in a second. So I just quickly whipped up something on the iPad. I had a couple things already drawn from previous like little doodle sessions. So I just kind of like added a few things together, created a journal, and then just wrote "I love my journal" inside of a banner that I'd already made. So I thought that that was really cute. And then I simply put them on my computer and I printed them off on the white sticker paper. So then everyone can grab one and stick it down wherever they please. I found this self-care club. It was a part of one of those washi sticker books that I use for the Hobonichi. So I just thought that that was a cute thing to add on to the front. So I did that. Here's where I'm finally going to add the instructions for adding a piece of washi onto this page. I just wanted it to be in white. So I just kind of reprinted it and then added it on. So now those pages are complete, I do think. And then we'll move past the jars. I did add another one of those washi stickers to the top of my jar. You can see that added like a bow onto my jar, which I thought was cute. And then I did add the instructions there under the next jar. And like I said, I'm going to add it under all of them eventually. So here's my next concept, which I just thought of and made up the layout as I went. But this one was all about adding a photo of you as a kid. So, you know, I'm never going to miss a chance to do a nostalgic spread in one of my books. That's one of my main things. My favorite things in life is nostalgia, childhood nostalgia. Y'all know I love it. So I had to do a page all about that. I found this sock monkey paper that I think I bought, probably 10 years ago. I was thinking about doing something with it for my grandma because she collected sock monkeys. That never happened, but I liked this opposite side with this green, and actually all of those dots on there, they are from like Heidi Shine, 2 of the colors of Heidi Shine that must have been overspray from some project that I was doing, but I thought that it was cute. So I ended up using this paper, added a little piece of random tissue paper. I'm pretty sure that my friend Christine sent me that tissue paper like in a package and I just loved it. So I kept it. I think that that's where I got it. I used some on that first opening spread that I did the reel about, and I added a little piece on here. Then here is my instructions again. I said something like, how cute was little you, add a kiddo picture of yourself here or something like that. So I thought that this would be another fun place where I could add a lot of my nostalgic stickers. So what I did here was, after I got the title on, I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do the rest of the layout. So I used a 3x4 card, and I used just like one of my pocket cards as a template. And then I cut out 3x4 cards, but I knew that would be way too big. So then I cut it in half, and these worked out pretty nicely. I needed to fit 6 of these onto the spread. So I'm just kind of adding them where I want them to go, figuring that out. And then just like I did with the jars, I'm going to use just a little dab of this like repositionable adhesive onto the back so that everyone can just pull this piece of paper up and add their photo in the place of the paper. But I'm just adding it there as like a placeholder for now so everyone can like see the vision. And then in these blank spaces, I'm going to add some of my favorite nostalgia stickers. So at first I just add them into these 2 blank spaces at the bottom, but eventually as the video goes on, we are going to sticker that top area on the right side. But at this point, I wasn't sure if I wanted to add something else there, if I liked the white space. I was just trying to figure it out, but I am going to eventually do that as well. I love the way this looks. I love getting to add some of the nostalgic stickers in here so they have a forever home and a place where I can enjoy them. And I love seeing like young photos of people. I think it is so cute. So I'm really excited to see a like baby or young kiddo photo of all of my friends here. So I think that that will be really fun. So now, of course, I had to add on the smaller stars and things. And then I decided to use some of this washi tape. Again, I'm going with the same washis, and I'm going to add a little piece onto each piece of paper. And then in the theory that my friends would just peel it up, and then they would add their photo and then put the washi back down. So I'm actually measuring. Sometimes I do measure in order to print my photos off the correct size. So I measured that, and I took a picture of me. This is one that I don't think that I have documented too much, and I'm wearing an Alf shirt. I have I think it's like Rose Petal Place little blanket down there. So I really liked that picture, and so I added that in place. Now for the next double page spread, this is actually going to be the last spread that I record in this video. So we're going to do the spread and then we do like finish up a couple things. But actually off camera, I ended up going back to the book one last time and I added 2 more spreads. So I will have an accompanying reel, just like a little reel flip through that I'm going to put up on Instagram whenever I get this video out. And if you want to see those last 2 spreads, you can check out that reel and you'll be able to see them. But for this spread, after the baby photo, I thought it would be fun to put a current photo. So I'm using some more of that tissue paper that I absolutely loved. And that's the fun of the junk journal, is that you can get creative with like random bits and pieces that maybe you wouldn't normally use as pattern paper, things like that. So I love adding this as like a different texture. So I've added the tissue paper down. Then I have, again, my little instructions that are saying to add a current photo. And it says, long live the Sisterhood of the Traveling Journal. So this is like going to be the group of us. I also have this random like little border banner kind of thing that was definitely from some scrapbooking thing at some point. I've been holding on to it in my junk journaling supplies. So I'm going to add a little bit of that at the top, and then I'm going to add my journaling instructions on top of that. Then I was trying to figure out what kind of spread I wanted here, like where did I want the pictures to go. So that takes me a couple minutes off camera, but you're going to see how I end up making that work as well. And I am just absolutely loving the way that this looks. And it will be so fun to receive everyone's journals and to be able to see what pages they created, what type of like add-on pages like these that they did that we will all be able to add our little piece to. And then it will be really fun because after all of these spreads, you can just add any kind of pages that you want. So just like that double page spread that I did at the beginning that was like all about me, you can just essentially add random pages like that into the book, which I think is so cool. So here I had these little washi like backgrounds, which if you are, if you follow along with my channel, you're going to have seen these. I got these off of Amazon. I've used them so many times in my Hobonichi throughout the years, but I had several of these that went together. So I thought that this was like a different kind of cool concept. So I just added them on as like a rough little area to where they put their photo. And then I printed off a picture of myself and I added that into that top spot. I am going to cut out a few just freehand hearts. I love just a random little wonky heart. I think that they're so cute. So I'm going to cut out a few of those. You can see I've added a few stickers, and then I actually printed off everyone's names, and I'm going to add those above each photo. So most of the time I didn't like put an exact like sign seating area, but for this one I did, just kind of for the fun of it. So then you're going to place your photo where your name is, obviously, and then we will have the entire group of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Journal, which I'm excited about. So I'm going to add a few other a few other stars, and I think I do actually add a few more hearts as I go. And the green ones, I'm going to add yellow ones here in a little bit. The green ones, I do actually end up adding a just doodle like border inside of them. Like I just outline them, but I don't know that you see that on camera. So this is actually my last main spread. So at this point, I'm just adding on like finishing touches. So I'm kind of going back and figuring out what I want to do here and there. Now, as I was looking through my little container that I had there that had some of the smaller stars in it, I remembered these guys, which are the photo corners that I was using for the summer junk journal. So I actually cut the little white part that's on the photo corner. I cut that off, and then off camera I added just a little bit of red line tape so that these would stay on nicely. And then I'm popping them into the corner of this pocket just for fun. And then this is where I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I do want to add a few more stickers up here to the top of my little nostalgic page. So I'm going to fill up this space at the top with a few other stickers. I love the way that that looks, and I think it really finished it off. And this is one of my favorite pages. I think it's so cute. And it might be one of my very favorites to see filled out. I think that's going to be super fun. So then another thing that I do, so off camera, I add 3 other things into this book that you're not going to see. So after the next checkerboard spread that has the current photos, I actually do a recommendations page. And if you followed along with my summer junk journal, you might remember I got them from scrapbook.com, and they are little miniature like vellum little envelopes, and I used like maybe one or two in my summer junk journal. So I had 3 left, and I thought, how could I incorporate these? So I do a recommendations page where I have the 3 envelopes, and then you are able to add in to the little envelopes a recommendation for either a book, a movie, or a TV show. So I thought that was pretty cute. And then another spread that I had seen made as I was looking through inspiration was to create a charm bracelet, and then everyone, as the journal travels around, they add a sticker into place on the charm bracelet, and then eventually the charm bracelet will be full. So I thought that that was really cute as well. So those are the last 2 spreads that I add that you won't see in this video. And then here in the back, right here, I added a glassine little envelope, and I'm adding a few things in here like photo corners, little stars, other small stickers, just things like that that I thought someone may want to use in my book or in their book. So I just, it's kind of like a take what you want kind of thing. So I'm going to add this little heart here. I also grab some of the little Velcro pieces to keep the heart into place. And then I do use some of the typed journaling to spell out to use. And then that's going to be on here. So if you flip to the back, you'll be able to use that. And then actually on that page on the left side that says Spiral Ring Notebook, I do end up off camera also including a login page that's decorated with pattern paper and has like a little tag in it, and then everyone can fill out their name, their location, and the date of whenever they made it to my journal. So you'll see all that because I will definitely be keeping you guys updated about the journals that I receive, the pages that I create, and then of course I will give you a flip through whenever I get my journal back, and it's full of so much more magic as my friends add their own spin and their own personality into my book, which I cannot wait for. So I hope that you enjoyed this process video. If you did, please give me a like, and please also consider subscribing. And of course, I will be back at you super soon with more videos. Y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.